wonder how many bad sermons you had to sit through. You stayed silent at the time because it wasn't your time to reveal that you were the truth. I wonder what it was like for you to listen to what your dad said read through a scroll, knowing one day that you would stand and say you were the one the scrolls foretold. I wonder, did you ever help a Gentile? Wash their skin or give them clothes, and then were you slapped and shaken and told, we don't touch or talk to those? Don't you know that they aren't like us? The chosen ones, they're going to hell for their sins. Jesus, did you whisper to yourself, but I've chosen them? When you sat in a synagogue of all men, did you look back to see the women and tell them, I've come to let you in? Did you ever see a lamb slaughtered before its time? Did you ever walk up to one as a child and say, don't worry, I'm the last lamb that needs to be sacrificed? Did you ever shudder when you chopped wood at your carpenter shop, knowing one day someone would chop the wood that you would die on? What was it like to be the most misunderstood? How many adulterers did you see stoned by other adulterers that went on pretending they had done something good? When they read you the 10 Commandments, did you tell your mother that you would turn them into 2 to love God and one another? Did she tell you to be quiet and go play with your brothers? Or did she hold you, saying, I remember the shepherds and the kings, and I've held them in my heart, and through my womb came my heartbeat, you? Were you excited to turn water into wine? Because it meant the time had finally come, knowing they didn't understand it was a representation of you and your blood. When your teeth tore into bread, did you see your body being whipped to shreds as your blood was poured out like the wine they partied to all night again and again? I know what it's like to be called a sinner because that's what I am. But what was it like to be called a sinner just because you ate with them? What was it like to be called a drunkard and a glutton, to turn over tables in a temple but refrain when they called you Satan? What was it like to be called darkness when you were the only true light? How many people said they loved you, then suddenly hated you when you told them that you were the Christ? I wonder how many girls wanted to marry you. Did they ever go home crying thinking you had rejected them? Not knowing it was to become their perfect lamb who would become their eternal groom? Did you ever see the roses in bloom and glide your fingertips over their thorns, seeing the only crown your bride will remember her prince had worn? When the other boys bragged about their broken bones and scars as their way of saying, I'm tougher than you are, did you tell them that your unbroken bones fulfilled the prophecy of old so that you could be broken for them? And that you would be physically scarred beyond likeness so they could be spiritually formed into your likeness? When you saw them playing with dice, did you see the garments that they divide when you die naked for their sins? How much more vulnerable could love get? And you weren't angry at them because it was the only way you could prove your love to them. So I won't wince when they call me a sinner for speaking of you, because you died and rose so that I, your church, could proclaim your truth. And it was heresy to them for you to declare a new covenant. But by beating death, you proved that you were worthy of it. And you only asked us to repent and turn to you. You made sinners, saints, and slaves your friends, and you already knew who'd choose you in the beginning because you already saw the beginning from the end. So even if they kill me too for telling the truth, then I count myself blessed because that's why they killed you, so I don't have to wonder or guess if I'm really loved. Because no greater love than this, than you would lay down your life for your friends. And what better way to live and die than to be in and of the one who is love, you, Jesus, the Christ.